So for the second pose right here, what I want to do is we're going to start doing the trapezoids shapes that I like. So I'm going to take this first one and I'm going to kind of go here and then make a shape that's like this. So it's a really long, like trapezoid. So the shape is essentially like this, but it tapers a bit at the bottom. So if you want, you can also do a triangle. That works too. And then I'm going to overlap this the other way with more of a triangular shape. This, and then I'll put maybe another triangle down here. So you can always fix that up a little bit later. And actually, I think I'll make this a little bit shorter right here. Because as far as like the shape of the calf, we can always just kind of reshape that a little bit. This leg is extended out. And so I think I'm going to do this right now. And then what I like to do is just extend this all the way because she's actually on her heels. So I can extend this all the way. Put the heel right there. And then I'll put another triangle and I'll kind of shade that in to show that she is kind of standing up. I don't know if I have this correct, but I don't think I do. I'd have to move the leg in a little bit. So that was an error on my part, which brings me to my clumsily to my next point here. So I have this little line, and then I will put the foot down. It is probably easier for me to work backwards, like I was telling you to do. So let's take a look. This is going straight across, and I didn't even trace over this. Let's go back and trace over this. There's where I kind of went wrong, I think. I'm just going to overdo this. I'm going to do this a little bit. Then we'll make this triangle. And so now, let's see what we got here. I feel like I got this shape right here. And then maybe I'm just going to go straight with a very thin, we'll call this a little tube shape that's tapered at the end. And then I have a little triangle here, and I can just throw one on the side like this. So this is actually diagonal. So if I run this across and just go up a little bit, what I'm going to do is put my heel down here. Then I'm going to put that other triangle in the front. So what I'm drawing is this is the heel and this is the foot. So I'll make a note of that. Foot, and that's the heel. So you don't forget. I'm just going to draw lines straight up right there. So now I'm going to try and recreate. Maybe I'll start at the top here and go in. Like this. And then we'll make another triangle like this. That made it a lot easier to go backwards. And I made the other leg a little bit more thicker than maybe I should have, but I do want to thin this out a little bit so the legs match a little bit more. So I just went around that a few times, and I'm going to shade this in because I want to leave the mistake in so that you can remember and go, oh yeah, this is where he had to go in and make the leg thinner. All right, so there we go. We are putting on the legs. I'm not worried about things like from the back. I don't have to worry about the knee. I'm just looking at the upper leg and the lower leg, just to be very honest. I don't want to start to overthink or have you start overthinking things, because the reason why this is so important. So if this character was, let's say you had her in some sort of, not necessarily a dress, maybe she has on a coat that's kind of billowing or whatever, or maybe it's a cape or whatever, you would just be putting this down. It makes no difference. How should I put this? You putting in something like the hamstrings back here and making sure the shape of this leg is over here. There's nothing, that's not even going to matter at all, especially if this character has on like boots and everything else. That's not going to matter. What matters is that you know where the legs are as the artist and you draw them in, but don't worry if your character has, say, baggy pants on or something, or pants that are something like this, right? I just want the structure of the leg underneath so I know where the leg is. We know now that the leg is, of course, looking at it, we're looking at it like it's a tube, right? That's what we're looking at. So this is just us drawing the leg. It doesn't have to be super perfect. Again, simple figure drawing. We want you to keep this really simple and just start putting some of your characters down, because for the most part, your characters are wearing clothing. I think if I did this course in, say, the 90s, I would have to really, really hone in on every intricate little muscle and detail. But I just don't think that, whether you're looking at comics or manga or animation, although I know the muscles and I always try to get better, and you should definitely learn anatomy to get started, to write your ideas down, to put your ideas down, to put your characters down. You don't need to know every single muscle to start to create. And I just don't want that to be a barrier. So that's why I specifically strip down all my anatomy lessons and all the things that I've talked about with anatomy, with cartooning. I just stripped all that down and said, what is the most accessible to everyone? So yeah, that's me just ranting a little bit. So I'll see you in the next video.